Gauteng residents are feeling the bite of climate change. Dry and hot weather has left the Vaal Dam half full. This is the biggest drop in 3 years. Residents are being urged to use water sparingly. For more on this, Ronnie Mckenzie from the WRP joins me now. Very good morning to you, Ronnie Mckenzie. Clearly we are in a crisis situation here as far as the Vaal Dam is concerned.
I think you have to look at beyond the Vaal Dam. The Vaal Dam operates as a system, and there's 7 or 8 other dams that contribute to the Vaal system. So it's difficult just to look at one dam and then say it's a crisis. You need to look at all dams combined. And
okay, well, what is your findings there? I mean, clearly it's not isolated.
I think Vaal Dam is a very shallow dam with a very large surface area. So it's quite good to try and use that water first while keeping the backup water in the deeper dams, which are higher up in the catchment. So it's very important not just to look at Vaal Dam in isolation. You need to look at the dams in the Vaal system as a whole.
Okay, so what are you saying? Are we in a better situation than we expect? Should we be panicking? What should we be doing?
I don't think it's time to panic yet. I think it's always good to save water and for people to accept that in winter their grass is allowed to turn yellow and wait until the rains come before it has to turn green again. I think during a heat wave and at this time of the year, we typically do get some heat waves coming through before the first rains of the summer. And I think it's important for residents in Gauteng not to get too enthusiastic about irrigating their gardens just yet, and rather try and conserve water so that we don't find ourselves in a crisis.
Ronnie, this year people are talking about ground zero in Gauteng, but every year we talk about this problem. We know that we are a water-scarce country, and yet there seems to be very little development, very little progress into moving this conversation forward so that we've got better infrastructure and plans in place. Why? I think the government, Department of Water and Sanitation, are actually doing quite a lot in this regard. And bear in mind, it does take 20 years to commission a new dam. So water affairs are currently, they have dams under construction around the country, with a new dam being built in Lesotho. I think it's a bit premature to compare Gauteng to the day zero that Cape Town experienced. It's not the case that we shouldn't be cautious and we shouldn't try and do better, but we're not looking at a day zero just yet. Water affairs, water and sanitation, plan for long droughts. We have to accept we're in a semi-arid area. We do have long droughts, sometimes 10 to 12 years long. So the government is operating one of the most complicated and integrated systems in the world, which is not an easy task. I mean, it's not easy as well if it takes years to get the money moving. I mean, as we're talking to you, we're looking at pictures of the Vaal River. I mean, it's one of the most polluted. We've been talking about this for years and years and years, and yet very little is being done there. So what is the problem when it comes to getting that sort of thing resolved?
I'm not an expert on the pollution side of things. You would have to speak to the Department of Water and Sanitation on that. On the resource side, we do work very closely with the people within the department, and they've got good people working on the system. So the systems, the Vaal Dam at the moment is being lowered, and in doing so, you're actually reducing evaporation from the system as a whole. So in some respects, it's a positive way of operating the system to keep Vaal Dam low and rather keep the water in the other dams that are supporting the Vaal Dam. As I say, Vaal Dam is the collector dam for Gauteng, for Rand Water, and The other dams provide support. So that's basically what's happening at the moment.
All right, Ronnie Mckenzie putting a positive spin on the very low Vaal Dam, saying that it's okay, but be careful how you use your water.